In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a piece of software called FileZilla on your home PC. FileZilla is the software that we're going to use to transfer files between our local computers and our class websites. This video focuses on installing on a Windows-based PC, but FileZilla is available on other platforms, and a simple Google search will yield instructions on how to install it on alternate platforms, for example, on a Mac. As always, see me for whatever assistance you may need. Before we proceed, we need to discuss FTP more generally. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It is a protocol, or a set of rules and commands that are used to transfer files between computers. Normally, FTP is used to upload files from a client computer to a remote web server, effectively publishing the files to the World Wide Web. In our case, we will be using a program named FileZilla to make the process of transferring files between our local computer, referred to as the client, and our class web server much easier. Installing FileZilla on your personal device or home PC is a simple task, consisting of the following steps. First, download the latest software. Next, run the installer. Then, disable update checking. And finally, test connecting to the class web server and transferring a file that afterwards will be visible on the World Wide Web. Let's take a closer look at FileZilla as a program. At the top of the interface is where you establish your connection to the remote web server. Every student has an account on our class web server. Simply use the connection information I provide you, entering in the appropriate values for host, username, and password, and then click Quick Connect to establish your connection to the remote web server. On the left side of the interface is your local computer's file system, and on the right side are the files you have hosted on the remote web server. To download or upload files, you simply drag and drop files between the left and right sides of the screen. When transferring files, be patient and watch the progress of each transfer, which is shown to you within the tool. Now, time to install FileZilla. Do a Google search for FileZilla. It should be the first result. From there, you'll want to download the latest FileZilla client. Do not download the server. The 64-bit version of the installer should work for most devices. Simply choose the regular FileZilla and download. Save it somewhere where you can find it, like Downloads. Once the software is downloaded, you can see it using Ctrl-J and then go Show in Folder. You can right-click on the installer and choose Run as Administrator if that's an option. Make sure to install a desktop icon and deny all offers after accepting the software agreement. Click Next, desktop icon, Next, Next, and then deny all offers. Once installed, start FileZilla and verify that update checking has been disabled. You do that by going to Edit Settings, and under Updates, it should say Never. Next, I'm going to show you how simple it is to transfer a file from your local computer to our remote class web server. You start by entering in the credentials I've given you into the top of the program, and then clicking Quick Connect. Remember, local files are on the left and remote files are on the right. You should notice right away that you have a public HTML directory. You're going to place files you want visible on the World Wide Web here. Simply drag the file you want to upload to the public HTML directory. Afterwards, anyone in the world should be able to access the file from their browser by visiting your class website. Your class website is hosted on our domain in a folder that starts with a squiggle and that is followed by your username. There it is. Now anyone in the world can see this file. It's important to keep in mind that FileZilla works in both directions, so you can transfer files from the web server to your local computer just as easily. Imagine I didn't have this file. I can always transfer it back. This makes your class website a great place to back up your work. There it is. Works in both directions. In this video, we showed you how to install an FTP client program called FileZilla. We disabled update checking and then practiced connecting and transferring files to and from our class website.